afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting and riveting, amazing Propagandacaster from your host, Imperial Dane, the one, the only master of propaganda. Off here to a riveting 1 vs 1 on Nexus. In the west, it is Luvnest fighting for the Oberkommando West, Germany, Deutschland. Taking on the role here of the Großdeutschland Panzergrenadier West and East, it is Nicko fighting for the Soviet Union, Socialism, the Motherland, and all of the Soviet peoples. Taking on the role here of the 313th Rifle Division. We got here Grand Offensive with Triple Infantry versus Nicko's Urban Defense Tactics with double mine bulletins and one penal bulletin there. We got the Special Rifle Command start up there with likely a scout car there. Of course, in this case, Luvnest is going for the Kugelwagen into Panzerfusilier start, which basically gives him access to early anti-tank rifle grenades and the snares, meaning he actually has a sort of counter to the scout car. We'll have to see how Nicko responds to that one. Since, usually one of the reasons why I go for Special Rifle Command versus the Oberkommando is not just the penal troopers, but simply the scout car can be so effective versus the Oberkommando West because they have no snares. But Panzerfusiliers undermine that particular little fact. So we'll have to see how that works. All those Scandinavians here fighting around with the Sturmpioneers, they're basically just keeping them occupied there. But at the same time, it's not really an engagement they can win because as soon as the point is secured, the Sturmpioneers will bull rush the engineers and cut them to ribbons. Meanwhile, the Kuban, of course, just grabbing a lot of territory there for Luvnest. More Panzerfusilier on the way there. No, Panzerfusilier was basically just sort of more honorific title instead of Panzergrenadier that was given initially to the Großdeutschland Panzergrenadier, showing that slowly other units would receive it as well, sort of here and there. But while they sort of had this relic, these reconnaissance troops, they weren't reconnaissance troops. I think they might have made a mistake there with the Fusilier, which was part of the infantry divisions and sort of were part reconnaissance, but also just sort of, shall we say, a more elite unit within division. So they weren't quite the same now. Like Panzerfusiliers were just sort of Panzer Grenadiers with another name. Panzerfusiliers were just basically, or regular Fusiliers were Grenadiers with basically slightly more roles attached to them. But at the same time, the thing to keep in mind about reconnaissance troops, they also usually consider, so say, better troops within the division. Anyways, but longer story there. Anyways, Panzerfusilier versus engineers. Panzerfusilier squad number 12 around there. More penals was there for Nicko. Probably having spotted the Panzerfusiliers, he may basically be thinking, you know what, scout carts probably won't be working out for me particularly well. Also got a mine here just in case he does rush out the scout car, but always can also just be disrupted there for Nicko. So either way, though, nice work there by Luvnest. Very aggressive mining. Always nice to see, unless you're the opponent, in which case it's really annoying. Units there routed, grabbing the northern punch with the Kugelwagen, being sure to keep it out of the enemy harm's way. And of course with the Panzerfusiliers, and thus no scout car, the Kugelwagen also becomes, again, a bit more of a safe choice because, again, one of the reasons the Kugelwagen is usually not picked is because if you say up against the Surge, they go for the Scout Car, the Kugelwagen is toast. But again, Panzerfusiliers, again, already de-incentivize your opponent for going for the Scout Car, so again, theoretically a Kugelwagen becomes slightly more attractive because, again, if your opponent isn't going for the Scout Car, at least you can more easily counter it. Suddenly the Kugelwagen also gains a lot more value, so we can see here Luvnest is using it to aggressively harass here. So overall, very interesting strategy here by Luvnest, and we can already see the effects of it on Nicko. So this is overall very exciting stuff, I would say. Panzer's moving out there. We got the third squad out there for Luvnest. We'll have to see, of course, what it goes for overall. I'm guessing there's going to be some G43s at the very least, though there may also be at least one Panzerschreck package out there for Luvnest as well. Could probably go for fourth squad, or he may just decide 3 is enough for now alongside the Sturmpioneers. He might know, extend the Kugelwagen, but in the end, it still kind of did alright there for him. He's been disrupting Nicko and grabbing a lot of territory there for Luvnest, also allowing him to focus more troops on the front line, so that's obviously beneficial there for Luvnest, and obviously very much a pain in the posterior there for Nicko. Third penal squad on the way there. So yeah, so far no sign of the scout car, and I'd be very surprised if the Panzerfusiliers had absolutely no influence on that. Scout truck on the way there for Luvnest. Could be Battle Group headquarters, could be mechanized. Both will work out. But we'll have to see that. Obviously, if he's planning, most likely he's going for the recon package, though. Having access to the Battle Group headquarters means less munitions spent on medical kits from the Sturmpioneers, but also, of course, just makes it easy to heal them. So I'm guessing it's going to be the Battle Group headquarters. It would certainly be what makes sort of immediately most sense, but you could still see a mechanized, and that's exactly what Luvnest goes for. So he's clearly not concerned about the munitions expenditure here against Nicko. So that is a bit interesting to note from Luvnest. He's getting some other plan in mind. Penals they're reinforcing. Medics on the way there for Nicko and the 313th Rifle Division. Sturmpioneers need to retreat, otherwise Luvnest will lose them. Get a bit of skirmishing between Panzerfusiliers and the penal battalions. Kar 90Ks versus the SVT-40 semi-automatic rifle. We got mines up there from Nicko, very good. Unless you're Luvnest, of course, in which case, not so good. Other Panzer squad moving about in the south, troops setting out there. And soon down with this. In fact, he goes straight for the looks, and that is exactly what Luvnest does. He goes straight for the Panzer II. Reconnaissance tank there, the looks. Strafnicki setting out there for Nicko, and he'll probably be going for light into tank and then to try and counter the looks here. But a stop to this fascist mechanized menace. Penal troops got close, pretty much just pummeling the Panzer squad with the second squad moving in. The penal troops are suddenly in a bit of a tougher spot here. More medics there in here healing, and there we go. First G43 recon package going up there for the Panzer Fusiliers. And of course access to a 6th man and just overall more firepower, which is going to make the penal troopers feel less excited about themselves in the engagement. More mines up here though from Nicko, very good. Lots and lots of mining. Up north, Student Pioneer penal troopers going for the engineer squad there. Note he's already got minesweepers up because he's anticipating Nicko's lay down mines. So this is worth noting, Nicko has not gone for minesweepers himself. Possibly again he's basing this off again Panzerfleets, which are munitions expensive, so obviously he's figuring out if he wants to upgrade those, he can't be laying down a lot of mines. So he's obviously not going to go for them. And obviously again he's only been laying down one mine, but I mean it does actually make a lot of sense there. And obviously again they are expensive, so he can't just be laying down mines willy-nilly because again otherwise he's got no munitions to upgrade his Panzer Fusiliers. But of course, once he gets those G43s out, whatever upgrades on the Panzer Fusiliers, then Nicko really has to worry about mines from Luvnest. Bit of skirmishing here, pushing northwards for the fuel point there. Looks rushing southwards. MG34 flying of Luvnest there in the Großdeutschland Panzergrenadier-Division. So named because, at least by the time it sort of roughly was sort of created and established sort of around, at least for some time, unlike most other divisions at the time, it actually recruited across Germany because the German recruitment system actually sort of operated from local areas. That way, all the men in a unit would, for example, be roughly from the same area of Germany, which actually increased unit cohesion. And the Germans were really big on unit cohesion. So that's a little sort of fun fact there. That, of course, by the later stages, all kind of changed. They just get recruits whenever they could. But like initially, sort of for quite some time, the different divisions were known for specific areas of Germany. So, for example, the 2nd Panzer Division, for example, was known as the Vienna Division because it was recruited primarily from Vienna. So, little fun fact there. Mining up here, so I mean even with this, again, pressure to keep munitions up for the G43, he is still mining, though he may want to of course cancel there or finish them. Which again does slow down the G43s, but again that might also be something that Luvnest is actually banking on versus Nicko, again lulling him into this false sense of security that apparently seems like Nicko decided, you know what, I'm still going to get minesweepers because Luvnest is one tricky Sikabliat. MG34 setting up there. Grab the southern point there with engineers. Back here, troops in enforcing. You can go for more G43s there on the Panzer Fusiliers and does that exactly. Double anti-tank out there, and there we go. The mine goes off on the penal troopers. Nicko, I imagine, might be slightly surprised, but ultimately not too surprised. I mean, he is dealing with Luvnest after all. Panzer was there, halfway to fetch 2. MG34 dealing with the penal troopers there as well, very nicely. Luke's got 1 kill, halfway to 21. There you go, Panzer Fusilier charging out there for the German army. Oh, they didn't get fully reinforced. And they're going to tankers opening up. They're both set up together here to counter Luvnest armoured threats, and of course can switch over to fragmentation rounds when it comes down to like other stuff. Luke's charging ahead there in the south. They got points there being seized by the engineers. Mine went off. And the other mine there got swept. Anti-tank hanging back there. No further take-up yet there for Nicko, though he can consider and probably should. Trucking work for Luvnest. Likely a Schwerpanzer headquarters, but he could pull off the Belgroup headquarters, I suppose he wanted to. I wouldn't super recommend that, but I mean, I could see it happening. Another MG34 there for Luvnest to help further contain Nicko's infantry, of course, also fight more advantageously in terms of manpower. Steel hunting that off there. Nicely dodged, but just popping out the back door. Overall, Luvnest exerting good map control versus Nicko, and Nicko is just struggling to catch up with this. The way that Luvnest is playing is, of course, is quite efficient. Double anti-tankers there lining up, and there you go, firing the fragmentation rounds. taking MD34 team ready there for Luvnest. Penal Troops following up in the wake of that. Panzers they need to retreat soon. Close to wipe there, but they do escape. Got Luke charging in there. 3 kills, close veterans 1. The double entertainment has made it a bit hard there for Luvnest to use his looks freely, so it has not been quite having this big an impact there on Nicko as he might have liked in terms of like overall manpower damage. No, he goes for the battle group headquarters. I would have figured Luvnest he would go for the mechanized or the battle group head or the Schwerpanzer headquarters, but he did go for the battle group headquarters. Obviously not a huge delay, but even then just trying to push out for tanks a bit faster I think could benefit from here. And there go mine goes off in the looks, slowing it down, giving Nicko more time to push ahead, but still Nicko is back overall in the backfield in terms of map control because Luvnest is just playing so aggressively. And Nicko, of course, liking to hit back as hard as possible. He's still not tagged up either. Definitely feel like that's an oversight. He could have gone for a T-70 of his own on issue 6. I mean, he might, of course, be worried about the Puma from Luvnest, and thusly isn't feeling that a T-70 is worth it anyway, so he's just setting up for the mechanized armor company. But, you know, some consideration they need to be had, I think. I'll wait, push back Luvnest for now, but of course Luvnest will form up an immediate and reasonably efficient counter-attack. I managed to throw off Nicko once more. And there you go, we got the take up there for Nicko. And again, I'm expecting him to just go straight for the mechanized armor company and maybe toss in some shock troopers in the meanwhile to put more pressure on Luvnest infantry. Only one squad they need to be upgrading there, we can upgrade. Now, of course, he could be saving up here for the Panzerschrecks. Ensuring he, of course, has... Oh, he does commit to Triple G for the fees. Apparently feeling pretty confident that Nicko will not be hitting him with any tanks he can't handle right away. There you go, third truck up. That's going to be the Schwer Punch quarters up there for Luvnest. Medics on the way as well. And you're dealing with the penal troopers, anti-tanks moving northwards, bombarding in the MG34. With fragmentation rounds, slowly doing some damage there. Mine goes off there. Cheeky, that doesn't attack the spot there where Luvnest laid down a mine. And there you go, we do get the mechanized armor company. We could see a fast T-34 from 6 there for Nicko to try and push back against Luvnest. Probably not a very good choice. There we go, MG34 wiped out. He's going to make a run for it. Problem is, can he actually get back with it though? I mean, the looks and the MG34 is coming the retreat path, so the chance of him getting the MG34 out of there is, I think, limited. Not impossible, but definitely on the limited end of the spectrum here. In particular, since he's got nothing nearby to support. I mean, the anti-tank and for some lining within range either, though. You could argue he could have, you know, just been moving close to his own line to pick it up again. But there you go, Panzer's on the spot. We got some penals moving in there. We got the anti-tankers moving up, but can he get the anti-machine gun back there? Close range there with the fragmentation rounds. Opening up in the MG34 again. Can he get it this time around? Almost got it, in fact. Almost. And it gets away. Close one there for Nicko, though. But he can go for the T-34-76 now to put pressure on Luvnest if he wants to. We're saying about be able to go for tanks right away. So that could force Luvnest into a pretty awkward position. There you go. Nicko does commit to the T-34-76. That was, I suppose, very much anticipated. And of course, Luvnest with no anti-tank weapons will be vulnerable to it. So it's probably going to be like Nicko's big chance at really swinging the game back for him and for the motherland. And more importantly, swing Nicko away from a gulag. Films of the Sturmpanzer shouting straight at the Strafnicki here. 11 kills, veterans 1 Sturmpanzer up close, they're doing a lot of damage. We'll need to retreat here though, we've got a South charge first. Ooh, close one there. And the tank's been caught in a bad spot. Films of time from the south catching the Panzers in a bad spot. Sturmpanzer go straight for them. Tank guns, T-34-76 almost down there for Nicko. Luvnest is up again the Schwer Panzer quarters with the Panther sort of authorization, but again, it will nonetheless delay his tank. And there you go, people charging in from the south. We got smoke bombs in here to try and slow things down there. T-34-76 has arrived here for Nicko and the 313th Rifle Division. Almost got the Sturmpanzers, even get a wipe that's going to be helpful there against Luvnest. Oh, he focused on the Panzers instead. Deciding he can't get rid of them anyways. I mean, that makes sense, but if he could have gotten rid of the Sturmpanzers, that would have been a double whammy in Luvnest since he'd have to upgrade the mechanized regiments, perhaps not as bad as it could have been. But there you go. Looks is down, and of course, right now, Luvnest is in a heap of trouble. He's in sauerkraut to his throat, to his neck, as right now, again, he has no counters to the T-34-76. I mean, he can hope to pelt it with a lot of anti-tank rifle grenades, but that's about it. Now, Nicko, of course, adding to the momentum, is calling the shock trooper squad to put more pressure on Luvnest with some heavier assault infantry. Luvnest, of course, forced to commit to the academy for the meanwhile, as a, shall I say, interim measure until he can bring up a Panzer IV a Yak Panzer, or in theory, Luvnest could of course be bonkers on his own as always and just try to go for the Tiger tank. And of course can then try and spring the game back in his favour. But of course there's the argument he might simply be crushed beneath a wave of tanks from Nicko if he does. So there's certainly a lot of things to keep in mind, and that's certainly some of the high stakes calculations players like Nicko and Luvnest commit all the time. If they weren't looking for such adrenaline, they might make for great accountants. Shocks moving straight to the mine here, immediately blowing up a part of shock troopers there. Anti-tankers there being forced, healed. MD-34 out there. Gonna attack in there. He's pretty much expecting the T-34 to be there. I mean, it's the fuel point like he's grabbing, so obviously the T-34 is going to likely to back up in case of a counter-attack, and so obviously Luvnest bring up as a Kedmir. I might also listen to the sort of sound in the background from the fog of war, but even like assuming the T-34 is there is not exactly a bad assumption. Of course, if you'd assumed incorrectly the T-34 strike from the north, Luvnest would be in a bad, tight spot. Shocks into a press, got a smoke grenade down. Infantry charging from the north here. Probably spotting like Kedmir for them, which of course signals to his T-34 and 6. At least he doesn't want to attack head on and wants to start maneuver. Luvnest either by sort of sneaking up through here and sort of get behind, or attacking up from the north. Troopers there being pushed away. We got 409 versus 404. Veteran 3 versus Veteran 2. Panzers there need to retreat soon. Going for the southern victory point. Troops slowly moving in there as the T-34 from 6 is indeed moving elsewhere. Panzers under fire here from the T-34. They got the Kedmir for a great hit there, showing that Luvnest course is very attentive to possibilities there from the T-34 from 6. Penals was there, cutting the panzers to ribbons and to tank back, and in case of a sudden armored assault, they just need to blast apart infantry. Nicko remains the good map until now here versus Luvnest. Come down to 396. He can actually soon go for another T-34 from 6, and certainly just adding more tanks right now versus Luvnest could be a great idea. Of course, he could theoretically now try and stall for the KB2 heavy tank, though I'm not entirely sure I would call that the most well-advised move here by Nicko. But anyway, Panzers there being slowly murdered by the T-34 from 6. Southern fuel upon then reclaimed here, or at least being reclaimed by Luvnest and the German army, the Großdeutschland. Panzers there retreating, fixing up the T-34 from 6. Back here, troops healing, reinforcing. Mines up there, sehr gut. And there goes Shock was flanking for the south. Catch them MD-34 off guard, but there you go, MD-34 set up nonetheless. Quick grenade, but Panzer was moving in around the corner. And there you go, suppressed. Ooh, lost the Panzer there to the Sturm Pioneer, or penal troopers to the Sturm Pioneers. Bad news there for Nicko. Great for Luvnest, got a wipe, and he's going for the Panzer IV, so no Tiger stall there for him, which I think is a very sensible move there by Luvnest. Tiger stall there would have been very ambitious. Probably too ambitious.
The enemy has taken our supply sector.
And while Luvnest certainly is a man of ambitious, I don't call him being a reckless person about it. Catching the Panzers there with the penal troopers. But it does seem like Nicko might be planning here for the KB2 heavy tank. Certainly also ambitious on his part, but at least he has a tank out. Oh dear, that Kedmir could be in trouble. If he can steal it, that'd be a big problem there for Luvnest. Of course, the Scrap Panther Quarters is covering it, preventing such a thing from happening. So, lucky or good setup there, but Luvnest would say less luck, just, you know, setting up things correctly there. I want to get the T-34 out of range of the Scrap Panther Quarters and also try and point machine guns towards the machine gun crew, since the T-34's whole machine gun actually does a lot of damage. Slightly less efficient use of the T-34 there, to be honest then. Still, he's got most of the map. Luvnest is on the back foot. He's got the Panzer IV, the ready to lead the counter-attack. Nicko's getting ever closer to the KB2 there. With his current resources, we're looking at a bit over a minute. Of course, that requires he holds every point he has now for a minute and a bit there. So, I don't think that's going to happen. Luvnest with the Panzer IV is going to be much harder for Nicko to slow down long enough. But, plus there's the north side there with sneaking troops. Still, it probably, I think, won't be a full 2 minutes either, though, before Nicko gets it out. So now the way there, Nicko is pretty much just going hard there for the KB2 heavy tank. And we're certainly less than a minute away now. I mean, he's getting 42 per fuel per minute now, so that is not far off. In fact, we're now talking less than half a minute. Got the Panzers here versus the penal troopers. They're just being absolutely outnumbered here. We could see a wipe here if Luvnest is a bit unfortunate. Meanwhile, they got to push that for the southern calf point to deny Nicko at least access to the southern fuel, but it's not going to matter at this point. Like, Nicko is moments away from the KV2 heavy tank, and Luvnest is quite some time away there from a Tiger tank himself or anything else. Whatever he's planning here, recruiting the anti-tank gun there. Directed on the T-34-6. There you go. Got the KV2 heavy tank out here for Nicko, for the glory of the Soviet Union. There we go. Rolling ahead there with 152mm gun. Anti-tank and stone there by Luvnest, right at Nicko's doorstep. A brazen rape, but there you go. KV2 shoots direct hit on the Panther 4 there. Now it's Luvnest's time to quake in his jack boots, possibly. But then again, Luvnest's got nerves of Kruppsteel, so he may not be too disturbed by this development. But there you go, KV2 charge here, trying to take out that Panther 4 and get rid of it. That, of course, be a sundering blow there against Luvnest. Doesn't quite pan out. Directed here on the Keddenwerfer. Doesn't quite land a hit, but Panther 4 can bounce off the KV2 heavy tank. Insufficient support for the KV2, so he probably should pull that back soon. Would be bad here for Nicko after rushing out the KV2 like that. He then loses it. Also worth noting, Nicko is actually quite short on a lot of things now. So he needs to be careful he doesn't push his luck any further than he can actually hold here versus Luvnest. Plus his KV2 is in dire need repairs. He's going to need more engineers to fix it up. And they're basically with the T-34-6 as well. So there we go. Nicko's going for more engineers. That definitely should have happened a bit faster after losing the first one. But there you are. Meanwhile, Luvnest, I think, has plenty of opportunity to push ahead there. We got troops attacking northwards. Sturmpani is routed. Mines down there. KV2 just waiting for something to happen. T-34-6 almost fixed. Shock troopers reinforcing. There we go. Good to go once more for the glory of the Red Army. So despite rushing up the KV2, ultimately they didn't quite gain the traction he wanted to, because they ended up putting too much else on hold to really maintain a force to easily support the KV2. Of course, it's still going to be a huge problem there for Luvnest, but at the same time, due to the momentum loss incurred from it, like Luvnest will be able to actually grab back a lot of the map here. And of course, the argument might have been he would rather just go for a lot more T-34s rather than trying to go for the KV2 first, since that way again he had more tanks on the field to pressure Luvnest immediately, making it easier to stall for the KV2 there. But we'll have to see. We got 165 versus 1-1. I mean, Nicko has nonetheless managed to gain himself a huge edge with this. But again, he's also given Luvnest a huge opportunity to scratch it back, or claw it back. Oh, wait though. Punch are going for the engineers, but are quickly routed in the end by the KV2. Got 4 kills on it. In the south, we got Shocks going for deep flank, expecting the machine gun there to cover the area there. At least figuring if there is, he's wants to be ready to clear it out. Good move there by Nicko. And there you go, catch the MG5 on a pretty bad spot here with the PPS H41s. The PP standing roughly for machine pistol and sort of Russian, and then the SH stands for Spagen, the guy who designed it. T-34-6 coming about there, close 52 on that one. He can soon go for another T-34-6, there you go. Panther going straight here for the isolated shock from the south. A rapid strike there by Luvnest. Panzerkampf back in fear, Ausführung Jod. But of course got the T-34 KV2 going in, and probably Luvnest expecting this, so he's not going to stick around with the Panther for too long. If he does, he's going to regret it badly. There you go, T-34 shoots. And the Panther is blinking away. Ooh, he might still try and push his luck a bit here versus Nicko. But not for much longer either. North side seeing fresh engagements here. Got the anti-tank they're covering up. Great hits here on the Panzer 4. The killer they're joining in. Anti-tank gun T-34 from 622. We got a smoke from down there. More anti-tanks out. This is gone for second line anti-tank gun. And then south engineers were routed. I mean, right now the Luvnest is basically occupying a much larger force here from Nicko with very little, while he's then using the remainder of his force to push elsewhere. I mean, it's a bit bold, a bit risky, but at the same time, if it works out, I mean, again, he's just tied up a larger force with a smaller force. Luvnest used it efficiently elsewhere. And there you go. Panther strike north northwards. And now instead of say maybe trying to overwhelm the units east, now pushes northwards direct to the Panzer IV. So in this regard, Luvnest using the Panzer IV's excellent bait to keep Nicko's attention centered where he wants it to, and not where it would actually be unpleasant for Luvnest if Nicko suddenly decided to pay attention to. Panther following up here on the Panzer IV, so looks like Luvnest is not going to be stalling here for the Tiger tank. Let's might be he's going for it anyways. Goes for the Kedman, there we go. Punches there being hit by the KB2 heavy tank. Anti-tank is backing up there. Up north, the T-54 landing good here, and the Panther almost got it, in fact. Basically, 2 on the T-54 with 14 kills, out charge off. They're pushing the Panzer facilities off the fuel point and carrying them in a shower of dirt afterwards. KB2 being repaired. Stand off in the south as well here between shock troopers and an MD-34. A lot of action here. Now the T-34 from 6 on the way there from Nicko. KB2 almost good to go. A lot of ammunition probably from Nicko. Might want to lay down some mines or get some booby traps down. T-34 6 halfway done. Luvnest is roughly a minute away from the Tiger, a bit under that. MD-34 there suffers a excruciating blow there from the KB2 heavy tank. By Kevin to the flank though, causing problems with the shock troops, gets suppressed with the MD-34. And there go, wipes the MD-34, but devastating it, but there go, double captures up the side of the KB2, they're doing heavy damage there to Nicko's heavy tank. Shock troops need to retreat here as well. That did not quite pan out there for Nicko as well as he would have liked to. He's going to commit more resources to the south instead of maybe heading from the north where there's lesser resistance there for Luvnest. He wants, of course, to deliver a crashing blow. And there you go, T-54 charging in. Got in like Kedman, but still need to be careful here. And of course, the KB2 is going to be out of commission for some time. And Luvnest is very close here to the Tiger tank. To scout the fuel, he just needs the manpower. Meanwhile, KB2 heavy tank there being repaired. T-34 from 6 close to Veteran 3 as well. Shock troops heading north, or Punic troops heading northwards. Panther is also in there, close to Veteran 4. And Luvnest Panzer Kampfwagen 4 ausführen gut. Gefechtsbereit. Bonds both fixed up. Fresh coat of paint as well. T-54 is going straight for it. Almost got the KB2 ready. Seizing points here and there. There we go, Tiger tank out for Luvnest. Adding the Panzer Commander. Now, of course, the challenge is going to be here for Nicko how to deal with that. I mean, he's got 2 light tanks, a KB2, and some T-34s to try and stop it. It's not impossible, but it might be a bit tricky. They can see how well supported Luvnest's armor is already as well. Smoking down, it goes for the center. Looks like we're seeing a heavier clash in the northern side of Nexus. There you go, Tiger tank charge forms back up the Panzer. T-34 directed here from the Tiger tank. Lion to tank and actually gets a pension here, and the Tiger's 100 mm thick armor. Second hit there following up as well. In the center, KB2, the prime spot for the infantry, but it's not quite working out. There you go. Lasting the Sturmpioneers apart here. Tiger tank bouncing shots off. Penal troopers not getting any more ground here. There's the Tiger tank. 4 killed so far. Lion to tank is keep hammering away there, doing some light damage. Panther forming to support here. More shots firing off. The other T-34 hanging back here, finally moving ahead there. More shots bouncing. More, a few more penetrating hits there. Another one. Go straight for the anti-tanks of the Tiger tank, but the Panthers are about to get done in. T-34 looks hanging back here. Anti-tank destroyed by the Tiger tank. T-34 wing directly on the Tiger tank's frontal armor. Another hit there from the anti-tank, it goes through. Luvnest Tiger tank's done half of these, rushing it, ramming it with the T-34 tank, stunning it. But the problem is, unless he's got something to finish it off with, what is it going to matter? And that's the thing, I don't really feel like Nicko's got much to follow up. He's going with the T-34 from 6. If he can flank the Tiger tank with it, he can take it out in theory, but this could also backfire on him. Got one hit there, KB2 charging forwards here. T-34 knocked out. Got the target tank there. T-34-6 is ace level. A crashing blow there to Luvnest. It actually paid off with the T-34-6 round. On the other hand, Nicko's casualty has been quite heavy to get this through. I mean, he's barely got any infantry left. He's got some units. He's got one anti-tank gun. He's got the ace T-34-6 and the KV-2, but he's got very little left versus Luvnest, who certainly has a larger force. KV-2 is about to go down into the Kednev, and that's going to leave Nicko in a really bad spot then, since that was obviously one of his better stuff for just blowing apart Luvnest things. And his T-34-6 is still trying to get back to the base, and the Panzer IV could pursue it now to destroy it. So the situation is rapidly deteriorating here for Nicko and the 313th Revolution. T-34-6 frantically scrambling to get back to safer areas where they can be repaired once more by Nicko's hard-working engineers. 21 kills on the Panzers as the double penal triple squads there. Being cut to ribbons, Panzer IV moving in there. Very close to Veteran 3. Just for now, one anti-tank and try and stop this. Is Nicko actually going to go for another KV-2 here? That would be very extravagant, I'd say, and very ambitious. So now he's about to lose another anti-tank into the Panzer IV. Got the armored recruiters at the Kednev, of course, flanking the Panzer IV with it. Direct hit here. Panzer IV's going to quickly do a combat blitz, get behind my Kednev. Good move there by Luvnest. Good response. Clearing out the Kednev in a matter of seconds, and this Panzer IV's about to hit Destiny Fleet. So right now, Nicko is at a bit of a precipice. He's dangling above an abyss. And just at the sort of edge of the darkness of this abyss, you can sort of spot the grinning face of Luvnest laughing at him. T-34's about to get repaired. Panzer IV almost got the anti-tank, and there we go, down to just two men, holding on for dear life. But there is no chance against a Destiny Fleet Panzer IV up close, unless they get ridiculously lucky. And wow, that's clearly not happening here for Nicko. But yeah, Nicko is very much a turn for a second KV-2 here. Troop shielding reinforcing. We got 146 with 272. Almost got it ready, but he's going to push here for the Panzer IV, try and take it out there. Anti-tank and destroyed. He's got a lot of munitions though. That's definitely, I think, one oversight there by Nicko. He could have easily been laying down a lot of mine for somebody who had most of them that were golden trading points. I think that was one of Nicko's perhaps bigger mistakes, that just when he actually had most of the map, he failed to utilize his resources efficiently. And now the T-34-6 has a damaged engine. The Panzer IV's too heavily damaged to meet the pursuit, at least would be risky, but still, bad news for Nicko. But he is close to the second KV-2, but will it be enough? Will it be worth, again, all of the resources sinking into it? Because arguably, for the same amount of resources, he could probably at least go on for at least two T-34s and 6 with just more pressure on Luvnest immediately. But here we are. Decent fight in the south here. The Kednev with infantry support going here for the T-34s and 6. Ooh, anti-tank rifle is going to go off there. And yep. Damaged engine again on the T-34s and 6. Didn't last long, and there you go. KV-2 rolling ahead here for Nicko. Flanking like heading to the south here. Eventually 3 Panzer IV on the move there for Luvnest and Deutschland. Kednev landing a quick ambush hit here and there. Good right hit from the KV-2 on it, but another hit there. Eventually 4 gain on it, increasing his range, making it harder for the KV-2 to get away with that. Panzer IV goes for another hit. Kednev pierces the KV-2's thick frontal armor once more. 27 kills in that Panzerkampfwagen 4. You got 146 on the A5. A Kednev following up here. Direct hit on the Panzer IV, but likely a direct hit from the Kednev on the KV-2 in return. T-34s and 6 in dire need of repairs. Panzer IV slowly approaching 84. KV-2 halfway dead. And Luvnest is actually setting up for another Tiger tank. Probably realizing if Nicko's willing to commit to another KV-2, then he can go for the Tiger tank and might be able to finish off Nicko here with it. Particularly Nicko's remaining force is just a cripple again. The KV-2's just been sucking up all the resources they're going to use to build up Nicko a more formidable force. but instead it remains a small narrow force, which Luvnest can mostly tangle with. More shock troops out for Nicko here. Target tank very close here for Luvnest and the Großdeutschland Panzergrenadier Division. Machine gun caught in the south here by the KV2. A sledgehammer blow there that gets the rest of the machine gun crew running away before they get turned into pulp. Ace level Panzer is there. T-34 is good to go once more here for Nicko. Luvnest Tiger tank is seconds away. We got 137 on the 75. Nicko still remains in the lead, but the question is how much longer can he maintain here versus Luvnest. There we go, Tiger tank out. Shot fired, didn't land a direct hit there. Target tank moving out here for Luvnest, adding the Panzer command for that one as well. Very close to 54, then the Panzerkampfwagen 4 Ausführung Jod, mines down there. Target tank rolling ahead here. T-34 on its own in the north, going straight for the KV2 here with the target tank. Main gun up, by the way, meaning it is toast against the target tank once it's spotted. Engineers, in fact, easy target there. Go. Poor Petrov is splintered as shrapnel just goes through him. Shot bounced off there with this. I think Nicko is very much dead. Like, he's got the T-34 6. His KV2 can't join in the fighting, and Luvnest, of course, has the target tank and eventually 3 Panzer 4. The chances, I think, now for Nicko to recover from this are very limited. T-34 flanking the target tank, but KV2 is down. Panzer support here, and of course the T-34 already at half health, and there we go. T-34 is kaput, and with that, Nicko, I think, is very much also kaput and gulag bound. So there you go, GG, game over. A loss here for Nicko, a victory for Luvnest, a victory for the German army. So I hope you enjoyed this match. Hope you learned something fun. If you did, subscribe, like, share, comment, tell your friends, tell your family, but don't tell your enemies. And of course, remember to press the bell button. This is Imperial Dane saying cheers, thanks for watching. You all leave one for the audience. Hope to see you all tomorrow again for another episode. Bye.